we lose a lot at customer service, whether you want to believe it or not. And we lose a lot at customer service due to the smallest things like the cashier not checking inside the boxes, or they're accepting returns that don't even belong to our store, meaning that these are things that the store doesn't carry, or it's a brand that we don't carry. So it's important it's important for us APAs to make sure that we cracking down on customer service and making sure that they're doing the little things right, so that way it's not a big problem down the road. So, like I said, checking inside the boxes is something that they should be doing anyway, according to the Bob and Lisa. But, I feel like common sense will tell you to look inside the box, because, people will try any and everything to try to get their money back and some. Now, with that being said, sense is not common nowadays. Sense is not common nowadays. So, we got to do a lot of babysitting. So we got to crack down on customer service and make sure that they're doing everything right when it comes to doing exchanges and returns. So, like I've said before, we've lost a lot of merchandise because solely the details wasn't covered. You know what I mean? So we got somebody who returned the TV, got their money back, and then when we checked inside of the box, it wasn't even a TV that we sold. It wasn't even the correct TV. It was an old dusty TV that they done probably grabbed from a trash can, or old TV that they had laying around in their house. You feel me? So if our cashiers, our team at customer service checks inside the box just to verify that the TV is in there, it will save a lot of the problems going down the road. They must always check inside them boxes. So, start doing your video review of customer service just to make sure that they doing these little things. When they're taking back clothing and other merchandise that comes from the store, make sure that it is something that we carry, because the cashier may be trying to scan something that don't belong to us, and the system is telling this person that it doesn't belong to us because it's saying something like, the item cannot be found. It should click to the cashier like, hey, this is something that we don't carry. It's not in our system. So a lot of cashiers don't think, or some of them just don't care. I don't know what the case is, but a lot of them will just try to override the system and then make the return anyway, based off what they see on a receipt. So if it says that the shirt was $30, $40, $20, they'll refund them that on a gift card, you know what I'm saying, or back on a debit card or credit card or whatever they used, you know what I mean? So I would test your team. I used to do this all the time. I would test your team just to test their knowledge, to see if they know exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean? Even if you got to send somebody up there yourself, or you just go up there and you just try to make a return, just see if they know what they're doing. And whatever errors that you catch, pull them to the side, let them know what they're doing wrong. You ain't got to make it public. You ain't got to embarrass them in front of everybody, but just let them know what needs to be done, the right way to do things, so that way y'all can clean that up. Another thing to be looking out for, like counterfeits are going to be on the rise during this season. You feel me? A lot of counterfeits. So if you got counterfeits in your office, go to a register, start, cross-training your cashiers, your front-end team on these counterfeits, and see which ones bite on it and which ones don't. Because some cashiers don't know what counterfeits look like or feel like. So this is the perfect time to train them on that. So that way, when they do get these counterfeits coming through their register, they can already look at it and tell that it's not real, or when they feel it, they'll be able to tell that it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Outside of, marketing with the black marker. But these are little things that we can do as AP to help the team, prevent making these little minor mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And to prevent us losing more than what we have, losing more than we have to at the end of the day. But customer service is most definitely a focus area that you need to be worried about, because we get people that come in there with receipts and they receipt shopping. And a lot of the times when they're doing receipt shopping, they will use these receipts to try to return merchandise. So there is times where people will pick up a receipt off the ground from the parking lot. They will come in, take whatever's on that receipt, and then walk out with it. But then sometimes they will use that receipt and try to get a refund, which is a return fraud. Now, things has changed from back when, we were doing return frauds. Like, because back in the day, they used to give cash. You used to get cash back, so a lot of people was hitting them that way. And then the company kind of changed it up, and it was like, all right, you know what? We're losing a lot of money when it comes to return fraud, so we're going to just start giving them gift cards. So that way, that money stays in-house, which I think was, one of the smartest things they did. So that way the store wasn't losing as much money. So these are ways that some of these shoplifters will try to do the return fraud. They will use those receipts that they find off of the ground in the parking lot to do so. So have your eyes open, be on the lookout. You see them doing this and you got, priors on them, just keep documenting it. You know what I'm saying? Document every time they try to do it, even if they, don't get away with it. Still document it, because it still adds up at the end of the day. It still adds up at the end of the day, no matter what. Now, because the season is changing, you will probably get a lot of clothing. You will get a lot of domestics. You'll probably get some electronics. Some of this stuff you don't really have to worry too much about, but I feel like when it comes to high theft merchandise, TVs, any type of electronics, we need to be thorough about that. We need to be checking inside the box, making sure that it's our product, that the product that was bought is still inside the box, before we just assume that everything is good and we just give them a return. When it comes to TVs, actually making sure that the TV matches what's on the box and that it is the correct TV, so we're not losing money that way. You know what I mean? When it comes to clothes, making sure that these cashiers, the front end team, are highly aware of what we carry and what we don't carry, because people will try any and everything. A motherfucker tried to come in and give us his shirt he been wearing for the past week as a return. Nigga, like, this shirt is musty, it's dusty, and this is not even a brand that we carry. Not even a brand that we carry. So people will try to give you their clothes off their back and return it if they know they can get away with it. So make sure your front end team is aware and they are knowledgeable of what y'all carry and what y'all don't carry. Because this is the season where the return fraud is going to rise. Is going to rise. Everybody want to provide during the holiday season. Don't nobody want to be left out. Don't nobody want to be broke. Everybody out there trying to get their hustle on. So whatever they can get away with, they're going to try to do it. And so the more that we can prevent them from getting away with these type of return frauds and using counterfeit money, it'll be good for us at the end of the day. We'll profit. Hopefully some of y'all will see, bigger bonuses, and it'll end up good, it'll end up good for everybody. But at the end of the day, I'm telling y'all what I know. I mean, this shit come natural to me. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, one day I was sitting in my car on lunch, and the way that I was parked, I could see the front of grocery entrance, right? And so I see these two, the couple going into the store, and they got matching, outfits on. And then something in my gut just told me that they was going to do something, right? And so when I observed them going into the store, they have nothing in their hands. They have nothing, right? So I get off from lunch, I clock back in, and as I'm passing customer service, guess who I see at customer service? I see the couple that I just seen walk in the store with nothing. So it struck me as a red flag, because I'm like, what are they doing at customer service? They didn't come in with nothing. So I see them returning some toys. You know what I'm saying? Some high dollar toys. And so I let them finish, and I already knew at this point that I got them, because I know what I saw. I seen them come in with nothing. So the fact that they're returning high dollar toys, I already know what they own. They doing a return fraud, so I'm gonna let them go about their business. I'm gonna let them finish the transaction. As soon as they got done with the transaction, I made the stop. I told them to come with me to the office, and I told them what I observed. I said, look, man, y'all came in here at this time. Y'all came in through grocery entrance, right? So don't lie. Y'all didn't come in with nothing. And now y'all at customer service returning toys. Come on, y'all need to come with me to the office. They complied. They cooperated. They came with me to the office. We handled business, and I sent them on their way. So, this is one way that you can catch people, doing return fraud or some type of dirt, is that, like, sometimes when you duck hunt, you just go outside and you pick them out as they coming in. It makes it that much better for when you make that apprehension, because now you can give them detailed information about how long you've been watching them. And when you tell them things like, hey, yeah, I seen you come in with nothing through this door at this time, like, there ain't nothing they can say to argue about that. There ain't nothing they can say to argue. Nothing they can say at all. So, duck hunting, I would highly recommend during this time. If it's slow in the store, you ain't got nothing going, go outside, start picking them out from the parking lot. From the time that they leave their car all the way up until the time they come into the store, and start following them. You know what I mean? Make it easier on yourself. Now, I do understand that, things is getting tough. It's getting more dangerous out there when it comes to making these apprehensions. But just be safe and be smart and pick your battles wisely. You feel me? If you are outnumbered, call dispatch. You know what I'm saying? If they end up getting away before, police can get there, then, still get a case number, whatever. So that way you got it for next time, because I promise you one day they're going to get caught. Or somebody at another store going to catch them. Then you can get their information, and then you can attach that theft to whatever they got caught doing at another store. You know what I mean? So there is ways to catch these people. Sometimes you just got to have a little bit of patience. I know sometimes we be anxious to get these apprehensions, especially these top alerts, these boosters, these regulars. We be so ready. We be so anxious to get these people. But patience is a virtue. You must have patience. And I'm telling you that one day you will catch them. If not, somebody else will catch them. And eventually they'll pass that information on to you, so you can, file your case that you got against them. So there's different ways that, all this can work together when it comes to apprehending people. Sometimes you can still make an apprehension without you even physically stopping them in the vestibule. Like I said, another store might catch them and then give you their information. You know what I'm saying? Or they might already have priors, right? You might document this, and then you might send an email to all the stores in the division or the market or the region. Somebody might notice who was at your store and might say, hey, look, I caught this person, a while back. This is their info. Boom, slide you the info, you good. They used to have a thing where you could use facial recognition technology, but from what I've been told, they don't do that no more because it's some type of violation. So they don't do that no more, which it sucks, because that was one of the ways that I was catching shoplifters. I would send a picture to, one of the officers send it in to dispatch. 5 minutes later, the officer get the information, he send it to me, boom, I got him. You know what I'm saying? Safest way to make an apprehension, if you ask me. But they don't do that out here no more. I'll say that, because I don't know about other cities and states, but they don't do that out here no more, which really sucks, because I feel like it was one of the safest ways to make an apprehension. You didn't have to worry about fighting nobody. You didn't have to worry about, anybody's safety being at risk. You didn't have to worry about losing your job because you did something wrong or you approached them the wrong way, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes down to it, APAs out there, man, watch your customer service, cross-train your front-end team, get them prepped for the holiday season and the season change. Start cross-training on your merchandise, the counterfeits, Bob and Lisa, and start doing a little bit of video review of customer service to make sure that they are doing everything right. Because if you could catch some of these errors early and fix them now, it'll save you a lot of money. It'll save you a lot of time later on down the road. I promise you that. So, with that being said, all my APAs out there, happy hunting. I want to thank the Eagle family for tapping back in. Y'all know what it is. Stand your ground. Watch your surroundings. Be alert at all times. It's your boy, Eagle Eye Miller. Till next time, raw and unscripted.